Hi YouTube friends. I am coming to you today with a project hopefully I can get done in 2 steps. I want to do something, or at least one more project for the hashtag lovesummerart project. And I decided that I wanted to cover this photo album. So these are the materials I'm going to be using. And this is the photo album. It's old, it's beat up, it's just crazy mess. And it's what I keep my Jamberry nail wraps in. So I'm gonna take out all my goodies here and set them aside, because we are going to cover this and make it look nice, because it doesn't look nice. It's just kind of a mess, and you know, that's what happens. It's just paper coated. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of just tacky glue here and glue down all the little pieces. Hold on. Like I gotta get out the good stuff here. Okay. Okay. Now we can get the glue. And I'm just gonna I'm not really doing a great job. I just want to get things sort of back where they're supposed to be before I add the material. That way I won't have a bunch of lumpy bumpies underneath the fabric. Like I said, it's pretty beat up. It's been floating around my house longer than I've been married, which we celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary this year, so it's old. I used to have photos in it of the little triplets that I was a nanny for when I was in high school and just before college, but I needed it, so I put them in a different photo album, and I stole it for my jam wraps. But I want it to look nice because I'm gonna be getting in and out of it all the time. And I like the color. I mean, it's like one of my favorite colors, but it's just in bad shape. Needs to be redone and given a new life, I guess. Alright. Well, we got one more. Well, and I thought maybe I would use some fabric tape, like gaffer tape. But then I realized it would be bulky and you would see the edges of the tape under the material. So I decided I was just gonna like just glue the loose spots and let the fabric be the strength. So that's why I chose not to do that. This is a piece of material. It's a batik. For those of you who don't know about material, this is a batik, and it is a hand-dyed material. And what I have here is what's called a fat quarter. It's just big enough for what I want to use it for. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to lay the material down like this. And then I'm going to set this in here. And as you can tell, it's just enough to fold over. And of course there'll be some waste on the top and bottom. That's okay. Let's see. Don't want to dump my minion water. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I have this spray adhesive, and it says temporary or permanent bond. Let's see what it says for permanent bond. Temporary bond, spray a light coat, allow to dry 3 to 5 minutes. For permanent bond, join surfaces within 15 seconds while adhesive is still tacky, and allow to set 1 hour. So that's what we're gonna do. I get it open. There we go. And I don't usually spray this kind of stuff inside, but I really wanted to do this project. So we're just going to kind of set this in the middle and then bring our material up. I guess this first one isn't as crucial in getting it because I can move it around. But the other side is going to be ultra important. I'm just working out any wrinkles. Oh boy, it does stick. Okay. Okay, working out all the wrinkles. Alright, this next part is actually going to be a little bit more helpful because I can use the material itself as like a barrier for the bonding. Okay, so here we go. And when you do these, you don't want to do them, you want to do them closed, not open. Otherwise, your material won't stretch around your spine. They'll be too short and then your book won't close. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Alright. Here's the last little bit. I do have a fan on in my studio for those of you worried about the smell, and this is not a highly toxic smelling spray. It is an aerosol, so you do have to be cautious of it, but it's not terribly stinky, and I do have a fan to get the air circulating, so I am being safe. Okay, so there we have it covered on the inside. I got something stuck underneath it there. Hold on, gotta find my book. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure nothing else is stuck under there. Looks good. Alright, and then I'm going to trim this bottom part off where there's extra, because that is too much to fold up. But you want to leave a couple inches so that you have some material to fold up to the inside. Otherwise, you won't be covering your edges. So you need some material to come up this direction. And let's see here. I want to also trim my corners, and I'm not going to trim them completely away, or again, I'll have that issue with not being able to cover the corners. And I want to make sure my corners are covered, because this paper album is not strong enough to withstand the rigors of being put on and off a shelf. And so if you were covering something that was maybe plastic, you wouldn't have to worry so much. But yeah, so I'm just trimming those off to get rid of some of the bulk. And then, oh, I need my scratch paper again, so I don't get spray glue all over my craft mat. I don't know how well it would come off, so I'm just gonna just kind of lift that up, stick it down, and on all of our corners. Just holding it just to make sure that the adhesive catches. It doesn't take much. This spray adhesive is pretty good, and it's very tacky if you use it right away, which is what we wanted. So we want that permanent bond. Okay. Our scratch paper. Okay, and then we're just gonna spray right along there and pull this in. Okay, turn it around. Up. I'm just straightening as I get there. I'm just kind of pulling it around. Okay. This part is a little bit tricky. I typically, if I was using paper, I would typically trim right here and right here, but I don't want to do that with the material. I'm actually going to trim just right up the center to about there and leave myself a gap, because all I want to do is be able to get it underneath of there. I still want the strength to be on the edge, so I'm only trimming that one spot. I'll do 1/2 at a time. Oops, see, I sprayed on my mat. I'll have to play with that later. Okay, and I'm just going to pull that up and under there. use my little tool here to kind of push that down. My fingers are not that skitty. Oh, goodness. Dogs are barking. Okay, again, I'm leaving a little bit there. I don't want to, I don't want it to get too much cut. Okay. All right. Well, I am going to stop here. Well, let me go ahead and finish this. My kids are home, so we're probably going to get interrupted.
I picked you some flowers from the flower bed, Mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, show them.
Okay, well, oh, very pretty.
No, these are from the Relief Society.
I don't know what I did with my pokey tool, but we're going to get this under there. A good palette knife helps, right? All right. Oh, let me get the spray on here. Boy, I'm just losing everything. Put that up. Put that underneath there. Right. So let's stop there, and I will just check and make sure everything's good. I'll get my girls put together and figured out since they're home now, and then I'll be back.